Hello and welcome to Solid World Podcast. I am your host, Sean Carter, and we have a very special episode today. First, I want to introduce a good friend of mine, a special guest for today's podcast, my good friend, Jordan. Say what's good to the people, man.
What's up? How y'all doing?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about today, so I'm not even going to keep you guys waiting. We're going to get right into it. Deshaun Watson. As you know, Deshaun Watson has had 24 civil accusations against him by women. As you know, 20 has been resolved. So the NFL has finished its investigation. The NFL has did an investigation for a good year and a half now. Mm-hmm. And what I'm seeing is that the NFL is going to come up with the decision this week. Sometime this week, the NFL should be dropping some news on Deshaun Watson on whether he's going to get suspended or not, or in how long he's going to get suspended. They say it might be indefinite suspension.
Indefinite suspension mean that the commissioner decides when you finally get the chance to come back,
which can be just horrible, or it might be a whole season suspension. I just feel like really it should be 6 games for the simple fact is that he didn't have no charges against him. Like, he didn't get charged for it. He didn't go to jail for it. And it really was a he say, she say situation the whole time. So I just feel like from recent events, from like Ben Roethlisberger with his allegations and him getting suspended without getting charged, and Calvin Ridley, they suspended him for gambling and he got suspended for a whole entire year. So I just feel like it should be 6 games just because the NFL, they going to do something. But I don't know. The NFL is unpredictable, though. What you feel about it, Rock? What you feel?
I mean, I feel like if they haven't made a decision yet, there's really no decision to be made. Like you said, he had 24 accusations, but 20 have been thrown out so far. So to punish a guy over he say, she say, that just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, that's what I said. But knowing the NFL, they definitely going to suspend him. Just hopefully he don't get suspended for the longest of time. Just hopefully it don't be at all.
I would say 4 games max, Sean. 4 games. That's as much as you can penalize a guy who's already been penalized through the media over the accusations.
Man, penalized for over a year. Over a year getting penalized for it. But we'll see, though. We'll see. There's lots of talk about. I would definitely get back to this when we get some breaking news, because like I said, Deshaun Watson, the whole accusations, the whole investigation by the NFL has been resolved, and some news will drop this week on Deshaun Watson. So when I get that news, trust and believe me, I'm going to let you guys know. You guys will be the first ones to know. Thank you for tuning in for the first segment. We got lots to talk about in the second segment. Jacoby Brissett, will he be good enough to get the Browns over the hump? Tune in. Thank you.
we have a hunger problem bigger than anybody's knowledge. 1 out of 6 people doesn't know where their next meal will come from. Since the pandemic hit, that number has doubled. Be a part of the change. Any food you have laying around, take it to the Cleveland Food Bank, located 15500 South Waterloo Road. Any food donated will help a family in need. Once again, that's 15500 South Waterloo Road, or call 216-738-2265 for more info. Every day, people across the world are affected by major life situations, whether it's a natural disaster or a bad health condition. Every day, there's a little boy or girl looking for a hero to make an impact on their life. Would you be that hero? Go to redcross.org to donate. Any donation would be great. With every donation made, you're changing the lives of many, whether it's your loved one or that little boy or girl looking for a hero. Once again, that's redcross.org, redcross.org.
Welcome back, Solid World Podcast. Jacoby Brissett. Me personally, I feel like Jacoby Brissett is not good enough to get the Browns over the hump. I feel like Jacoby Brissett is not good enough to get the Browns over the hump and help them have a decent season, because his best year to me was his first year with the Colts in 2017, when he threw roughly for 3,000 yards and he only completed 59% of his passes through 15 games. But who knows? Who knows? Jordan feels different. I feel like he's not going to be good enough. Why you feel like he's going to be good enough?
Just because he's our backup. He just needs to be good enough. He doesn't have to be anything more than what he is. He's a complete, consistent quarterback. His decision-making is going to be an upside for the Browns. He might not be able to throw it as deep as you need it, but as long as he gets the ball into our playmakers' hands and lets our run game carry him, we'll be all right, especially with the light part of the early season we had.
See, that's the thing. I believe in the Browns defense and Myles Garrett and all of them, and I believe in Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, like you said. But when things break down and they need a play or two, no matter what, I'm going to get a touchdown and everything. I just feel like Jacoby Brissett, he's not that person. You feel like that? I don't feel like that.
I mean, the quarterback is not going to be the person who's going to end up being the one to run it into the end zone. Or as long as he gets it into our playmaker hand, like I said, he doesn't have to throw a 50-yard bomb. It could be a 10-yard screen, a 10-yard out, 10-yard pass. And as long as we can get the points on the board and our defense keeps the other team from scoring points, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I feel you that on Jordan. But I feel like the Browns not going to be okay because of Jacoby Brissett, but really going to be okay because of that defense, mainly because there's not a lot of teams in the NFL that can actually say, I have an all-pro defensive end and an all-pro defensive cornerback like the Browns can, because when you got Denzel Ward and you got Myles Garrett, you always have a chance. You know, your defense always have a chance, and just with them two alone makes the Browns a top 10 defense. And going to their offense, they have an all-world wide receiver in Amari Cooper. Yeah, you probably say he's not no Odell Beckham, but that's still a 1,000-yard receiver, 100-catch receiver. And with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, just like with all them combined, it's just like they definitely have a chance to make a lot of noise and crack a lot of heads this season. And looking at the Browns' schedule, it's just like the first couple of weeks they're favored. They played the Panthers week 1, they played the Jets week 2, and they played the Steelers and the Falcons. It's just like, yeah, the Panthers, they got Baker and everything. That's going to be a good game, but I don't think the Panthers have enough to keep up and compete with the Browns. What do you think, Jordan? You looking at the schedule?
I mean, that's what I was saying earlier with the week schedule, first 4 or 5 games of the season, that we should be okay. We should stay afloat until Deshaun Watson gets back, if he does get suspended.
Yeah, my thing is the Browns should be straight the first couple of weeks because, like I said, the first week they played the Panthers. Week 2, they played the Jets. Then they played the Steelers and the Falcons. Then it started to get interesting. You know, they started playing the Chargers, Justin Herbert, and that team. That's a real good team. Mike Williams. They got my boy Austin Eckler. They got Keenan Allen, and they got a real good defense. They have a real good defense. So, and they almost made the playoffs last year by 1 game. So, they definitely go get the Browns problems. Especially if Deshaun not going to be there. He's need to be there for that game. And then they play the Patriots. And then it's really going to get tight when they play the Ravens and the Bengals in back-to-back weeks. So after the first 4 weeks, they're going to be in the gauntlet. You think they're going to get through that gauntlet?
Every game has to be played. So just looking at the schedule, we can't give a win or loss until they both step on the field. Based on the teams and what our team is capable of, if we're all firing all cylinders and Jacoby is doing at least half of what we need him to do, we'll definitely make it up.
Yeah, but I definitely feel that. But the Browns got a gauntlet on their schedule. Like, the Browns can easily lose 6 games, bro. Like, the Browns can easily lose 6, 7 games, Jordan. Like,
And we can easily win 10 games.
that's true. But off top with the division, I feel like they go split. They mess around and split 1-1 against the Ravens and the Bengals. Hopefully they win both games against Pittsburgh. But with Mike Tomlin never having a losing record for Pittsburgh, that's just tough to say. But when you throw in that, then you throw in teams like the Saints, you throw in teams like the Buccaneers, and you throw in the Bills, and you throw in the Chargers, and you throw in the Patriots. Now you have real live problems right there. 6, that's 11 games that the Browns can easily, it can go left for the Browns.
Are we forgetting that the Cleveland Browns were just a playoff team? They're not a slouch now. We did what we did with Baker, and now we're upgrading to Deshaun Watson. We might not have him a whole season, but we definitely have a team where we can carry until he does come back, and hopefully he could take us over that next step and win a couple more playoff games.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with the whole Deshaun Watson thing. Even if Deshaun Watson gets suspended, even if it's for a year, it don't matter. Like, the Browns got him on a contract for 5 years. Like, he signed a 5-year deal. You think the Browns is sweating about losing a year of Deshaun Watson, knowing they got him for a whole nother 4 years, knowing they got their whole team from Denzel Ward to Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb and all them under contract for at least 3 years? I really feel like the Browns is not really swaying this whole Deshaun Watson situation more than everybody else on the outside world is looking at it and swaying it. But we'll see, though. We'll definitely see. The Browns definitely have a gauntlet to go through, but I definitely feel like eventually, I feel like they're good enough definitely to get through it and make some noise and hopefully make a playoff push, a good, great playoff push, because if Deshaun Watson was in that game against the Chiefs, the Browns would have won because they literally was one play away from beating the Chiefs. One play. If it wasn't for a great play by Tyreek Hill, they definitely would have beat the Browns in that divisional game. But they made humps though. They made humps though. I'm just glad the Browns is not the laughing stock of the league like how they used to, because it used to be bad, Jordan. Like, it used to be horrible. Like, it used to be a time like 0-16 was like.
That was a rough time.
Yeah, it definitely going 0-16, 1-15, like that junk was definitely horrible. And I'm just glad that the Browns actually have an opportunity to just change the narrative of the city and of the franchise. Because Baker wasn't it. Like, Baker wasn't it. I feel like Baker had like really one good year, and that was the year he came in for Tyrod Taylor in 2018. And he threw for roughly like 27 touchdowns that year and should have won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Saquon Barkley won it, and well-deserved. But besides that year, I feel like Baker really didn't have a great year, because the next year he had Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, and he had everything that he needed to succeed and to make a great push for a Super Bowl, but he just wasn't that quarterback to get over the hump. And just like when the Browns needed the most, I can't never say it enough, they just didn't have that quarterback, made something into nothing into something. And like I remember the game against the Packers, the clutch, Browns down 2 points. Baker got the ball, a minute left, need a field goal to win the game, drive. The interception, game over. Type stuff like that. Just like that's be my point with the whole Baker situation. But what you feel about Baker? Because I just honestly don't feel like he's all like that.
I mean, yes, Baker, his playmaking ability was there. I give him that, but it was his decision making which killed him sometimes. Sometimes he should have threw it away or looked a different way, hit a different receiver. But at the end of the day, Baker did what he needed to do. He changed the franchise around. Like you said, before Baker, we were having 0-16 and 1-15 seasons. Him and Jarvis came and they changed the narrative of the team. Now, we didn't go as far as we would like to with Baker. He didn't get us over that next hump, but he definitely changed the way our franchise was going. So I can't knock Baker, but, hey, it's Deshaun Watson's turn now.
Man, and shout out to Jarvis Landry, because that video on Hard Knocks, hey, that video on Hard Knocks is legendary when he was in that mud talking about that losing shit. It don't exist here no more, man. That shit contagious. Like, that shit contagious. When he did that in the locker room on Hard Knocks, I was like, that's exactly what the Browns need. They need that leadership. They need that person that be like, listen, bro, all that losing shit, I don't want to hear that no more. Like, I don't not want to hear that at all. Like, they definitely should have kept Jarvis. They should have even let that man go. But, yeah, it definitely is Deshaun Watson's turn. And he's definitely here for 4 years. 5 years. It depends on what the suspension is. But the Browns got him for at least a guaranteed 4 years. And as ESPN ranks, the ESPN rankings for quarterbacks came out. We can get into that a whole nother time on a whole nother episode. And they got Deshaun Watson ranked as 9 for a person who didn't play football since 2020. Like, he's definitely ranked in the top 10 for quarterbacks. So that just let me know that they feel like he's definitely going to be playing a lot of football games for the Cleveland Browns. Definitely a lot of football games.
Yeah, adding a top 10 quarterback to a top 10 team, you can't really lose out on that. As long as the defense stays healthy, that's been our downfall the last couple of years. But we added some depth this offseason. And with our run game, we can't really go to any further downhill. So the only way is up from here.
So my only question to you, Jordan, is what is the Browns missing? Like, what is they missing? Like, because I feel like they stacked all around. They have the running backs. They have the all-pro Pro Bowl receiver in Amari Cooper. They have the defense. They got a dominant defensive end in Myles Garrett. They got a lockdown corner who's going to shut down one half of the field in Denzel Ward. It's like, what is they missing? I just feel like they had everything these past couple of years. You already said the quarterback, but they got the quarterback now. You feel like they missing anything? What is they missing?
Like you said, we just were missing that elite quarterback to get us over the hump. Now we have that elite quarterback. I can't say we're missing anything. The only thing I can say we miss often, like I said, is health. We're short on defense a lot. Offensively, we lose our receiver or a running back. It's not we don't really have the next guy to step up and be the same elite player. But now it's just we have that next man. We have depth. We stay healthy. We're not missing anything. We have all the pieces and parts to be a championship team.
Definitely. Well, we're running out of time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Tune in to my Instagram at BSO Shoe. That's BSOSHO for more details on the exclusive podcast I'm going to be dropping soon. I'm going to be dropping an episode about NBA free agency and a longer episode to a little bit what you heard today, the Cleveland Browns. So tune in to my IG for more details. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Bless up.